Have you ever stared at your bank balance and thought, okay, if I just get to $50,000, I'll finally feel safe, and then 5 minutes later you're wondering if you'll ever get there? Yeah, that's literally most people. Here's the crazy part. The first $50,000 you build changes your life more than going from $500,000 to $1 million ever will. Sounds wild, right? But stick with me. My name is Larry, and I spend way too much time thinking about wealth building and financial behavior. If you're someone who feels like you're working hard but your money never seems to grow, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. So, let's get into it. Why is the first $50,000 such a game changer? Most people think life-changing money is this huge number, $500,000, $1 million, maybe even more. But the truth is, life-changing stability happens far, far earlier. According to the Federal Reserve, roughly 40% of Americans couldn't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money or selling something. Think about that for a second. $400. That's a car repair, an unexpected dental bill, or a flight for a family emergency. $50,000 doesn't make you rich, not by a long shot. But what it does give you is margin. It's a buffer that completely changes your behavior. It moves you from a state of financial fragility to financial stability. Imagine you wake up one day and you have $15,000 in savings, $20,000 in your 401k, $10,000 in a Roth IRA, and another $5,000 in a brokerage account. That adds up to $50,000. You're not jet-setting around the world just yet, but you're also no longer living in a state of constant, low-level panic. Suddenly, life's curveballs don't feel like catastrophes. Your car breaks down. You can handle it. You get a surprise medical bill. You can cover it without going into debt. Your boss starts hinting at layoffs. It's still stressful, but you know you have a cushion to fall back on while you figure out your next move. This isn't just about the money, it's about the psychological freedom it buys you. You stop making decisions out of desperation and start making them from a position of strength. Now, let's talk about the math and the psychology behind this, because this is where the magic really happens. When you're just starting out, the growth feels absolutely magical. Let's say you have that $50,000 invested, and it earns an average of 8% a year. That's $4,000 a year, or about $333 a month, that you've earned without lifting a finger. It's your money making money. This is your first tangible proof that the system of compounding actually works for you. It's not just a theory in a book anymore, it's real cash hitting your account. Contrast that feeling with someone who has $500,000. An 8% return for them is $40,000. Now, obviously, $40,000 is a lot more than $4,000. But psychologically, the leap from 0 to $4,000 feels infinitely more significant than the leap from, say, $300,000 to $340,000. The first $50,000 fundamentally changes your identity. You stop identifying as someone who lives paycheck to paycheck. You start seeing yourself as an investor, as someone who is building wealth. This identity shift has massive downstream effects. You make decisions with more patience because you're not in a rush. When you're negotiating a new salary, you can hold out for a better offer because you're not desperate for the next paycheck. You can afford to take smarter risks, like investing in a new skill, starting a side hustle, or even switching careers to something you're more passionate about, knowing you have a safety net. This $50,000 milestone is the dividing line between playing defense with your money and starting to play offense. I know what some of you might be thinking right now. Larry, that's great, but $50,000 still seems completely impossible from where I'm standing. And that's a fair point. It can feel like an insurmountable mountain when you're starting from zero or a few thousand. But let's break it down into something manageable. If you invest $500 a month and get an average 8% return, you can hit $50,000 in roughly 6 to 7 years. The key here is that it's not about speed, it's about consistency. It's about building the habit. And here is the thing that most people miss: the discipline and the habits required to save and invest your way to $50,000 are the exact same discipline and habits that will eventually build you $500,000 and then $1 million. You are learning the process. You're building the financial muscle. Once you master the journey to your first 50K, the rest of the journey becomes much, much easier. It's like learning to ride a bike. The first few attempts are wobbly and terrifying, but once you find your balance, you can go anywhere. So, what can you do right now to start moving toward this goal? Here are a few actionable steps. First, define your survival number. This is the absolute bare minimum you need to cover your essential monthly expenses: rent, utilities, food, transportation. Add all that up and multiply it by 6. That number is your target for your emergency fund. This is your first priority, and it should be kept in a high-yield savings account where it's safe but accessible. Second, automate your investments. Treat your investments like a non-negotiable bill. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your 401k, your Roth IRA, or your brokerage account on the day you get paid. This way, you pay your future self first, before you have a chance to spend that money on something else. Out of sight, out of mind. Third, practice the rule of increasing your savings before your lifestyle. The next time you get a raise, bonus, or a new job with a higher salary, immediately increase your automated investment amount. The temptation is to instantly upgrade your apartment, your car, or your wardrobe. Resist that urge. Invest half of that new income first, and then decide what to do with the rest. This is how you avoid lifestyle creep and accelerate your wealth-building journey. Fourth, track your net worth every single month. Your net worth is simply what you own minus what you owe. There are plenty of free apps and spreadsheets that can help you do this. Don't get obsessed with daily market fluctuations, that's just noise. Instead, focus on the month-over-month trend. Seeing that number go up, even by a small amount, provides incredible motivation. It shows you that your habits are producing results. And finally, my fifth and most important step: focus on the habits, not the numbers. The goal isn't to stare at your account balance all day, willing it to grow. The goal is to build the right habits: automating savings, investing consistently, avoiding debt, and living below your means. If you get the habits right, the numbers will take care of themselves. The outcome is a natural result of the process. Let me leave you with this. The first $50,000 isn't just money. It's freedom. It's confidence. It's momentum. It is the single most powerful milestone in your financial life because it transforms you from someone who merely hopes to build wealth into someone who knows how to build wealth. It proves the concept to yourself. Once you cross this threshold, scaling to 100,000, 500,000, or even more becomes almost mechanical. You've already built the engine, now you're just adding fuel. So if you're sitting at $3,000 right now, or $12,000, or $27,000, don't get discouraged. You are in the process of building the hardest and most important part: the foundation. Every dollar you save, every investment you make, is a brick in that foundation. Hit that subscribe button if you want weekly guidance on building real, sustainable wealth. And give this video a thumbs up if you're committed to hitting your first $50,000. Because once you do, trust me, everything changes. Thanks for watching.